and welcome back to my channel. This is AJ, and like I said a couple of videos ago, I'm going to continue with these text videos to share some of my reviews. Right now, I think I'm going to be focusing them mostly on my older books that I'm wanting to get all the way caught up to. And I hope that you do enjoy them. So let's go ahead and get into today's video. So today's review is going to be J.R. Ward's fourth installment of her Black Dagger Brotherhood series, and it is called Lover Revealed. Lover Revealed is a story of the Brotherhood member Butch. We met him in the first book, Dark Lover, where he was friends with Beth, and now he is struggling as he's continued his friendship with the Brotherhood internally, where he's human and being mixed up with the vampire world. And to make it even worse, the woman he's in love with is a female of the vampire race, and a Glimerian at that. So he can't be with her. He does get his wish on being able to help the Brotherhood, just not the way that he planned. This is my cover of the book. I have the paperback version. This is what it looks like. It looks exactly like the other three, so I think it's very fitting and it goes along with the series. The book opens up with Butch being human, and he's at Zero Sum. It is a club that is owned by the Reverend, aka Revenge, and he is struggling with his sense of uselessness because he can't really help out the Brotherhood at night while they're trying to take care of the Lessening Society members in the area. Now, he ends up helping a member of the race from being captured, but ends up himself being captured. This results in the Omega sticking a piece of himself inside of him, which has the Brotherhood taking them to their compound so that they can figure out what is going on and why the Omega has done this to him. But meanwhile, Marissa is facing her own struggles. Her world has changed since she dissolved her mating with Wrath in the first book, and her brother ends up throwing her out because he finds out that she has feelings for Butch, and she ends up at the compound too. And while Butch is recovering, he actually finds out that he plays a part of the Lessening Society's Destroyer Prophecy, where he's able to inhale the Omega's essence from the Lessers instead of like stabbing them or blowing them up, and this keeps their essence from returning back to the Omega. So that makes him a real threat to the Lessening Society, and through different fights that they have, the Brotherhood with also having Butch with them, they end up finding out that V's able to assist him through using his right hand to be able to purify the essentia that Butch inhales, to basically purify it and make him not infected with the Omega's essence. He does end up joining the Brotherhood, and Marissa starts up Safe Place to help stop what happened to her from happening again to other females of the race. It's open to both regular civilians and then Glimerians, and it also offers other domestic abuse services for females and their children. So here is my overall thoughts. And to be honest, I was really excited for this book. I had seen where Ward had mentioned that vampires couldn't turn humans like they did in other vampire series. So I was wondering how that Butch could actually be turned into a vampire. I was pleased with how that she wrote that vampires can only assist in having humans transition into vampires when they've already had vampires in their actual lineage. So that makes it real easy and explains why the vampire race has slowly been becoming a smaller population versus growing rapidly like it would in other series. Now, I was wondering how that they were going to do with Marissa from the very first book. I loved how she bowed out gracefully in the first book, but I was really hoping that she would get her happily ever after. I was really excited about seeing her being paired with Butch because they had really great chemistry as characters when they first were meeting each other, and I'm glad that she was no longer wasting her life being on the back burner because of Wrath and because he did not want to be with her. So I'm glad that she didn't have to waste another 200 years or so to find someone who truly appreciates her. And I love seeing Marissa's struggles when she lost her home with Havers and how she figured her own way into her own love with Butch. She is one of my favorite characters. She's my second favorite character out of the Shellens in the series, and I love that always, whenever she writes them as a couple, Ward does, she gives them great chemistry, and you can actually relate to Marissa 100% of the time, at least in my particular, my feelings. So I love the relationship, and it's one of the healthier, and it is my third favorite in the series. And if there's a character in this series, especially with this book, that just needs to go, it's Havers. He seriously needs a reality check, or she needs to do something about him, which I'm wanting to see what she does with explaining herself, because you got more insight into Havers in this book and everything. So I'm wondering if she's going to just leave that as an empty plot bunny, or if she's actually going to let it hop around till we actually get more information about it. But anyways, back to this couple, and I love that Butch doesn't try to force her into a role. He just wants her to be herself, but also allow for her to be with him. So I really did enjoy them, and I love seeing them continuously through the series. And I love that we got to see more of the Glamira and how they're structured, and how they're really still restricting and basically stuck in the 18th century or even earlier than that with some of their rules, especially for females. I love we got more information about the Lessening Society and how things work with them, other than they're just kind of mindless killers hunting vampires. So I like that. It gives us a much fuller picture. Now, I do like that this story was very well written. I loved the characters. I loved the world building. The romance was really great. I do give the romance 4 out of 5 stars. The only scene that I did not really care for was the sex scene inside of the back of the Escalade, mostly because basically they go into the vehicle and there's Brotherhood members and other vampires there, and they're just basically standing outside twiddling their thumbs while they're having sex inside the Escalade. So for me, that was weird, and I was like, what? But it still made sense. While she was explaining, it made sense, but for me, I didn't care for that. But overall, I give it a 5 out of 5 stars, and I hope that you've enjoyed this review, and please stay tuned for the next review, which is Lover Unfound, and don't forget to check out my social media down below. I am very active on Twitter, so feel free to message me. We can get to talking about books, so please do that, and let me know your thoughts on this book, or if you're going to be picking it up. Also, who's your favorite character? Till next time, guys. Bye!